I recently spoke to a coaching client who told me they had quit their job and now the company they're leaving, and technically still working for, wants them to do an exit interview. And my client asked me, "Lou, what do you think?" Well, I told them they should absolutely, positively not do an exit interview. Welcome back to Over 50 TV, where we show you how to earn more after 50. Now, if we've never met before, my name is Lou Reyes. I'm the publisher of Over 50 TV, and I'm a career coach. I specialize in helping people over 50 launch successful second careers. That's something I've done myself multiple times, most recently as the managing partner of ReyesAI.com, where we build smart, affordable AI-powered websites for small businesses and startups. So let me tell you why I think you absolutely, positively never want to do an exit interview. First, let's say you're leaving a company and your manager, the HR department, or someone else in management says, "Hey, we'd like to schedule an exit interview with you." The first thing I recommend that you do is politely say, "No, thank you. I gave you my letter of resignation, and I think that pretty much describes exactly how I feel. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work here." And that's it. If they push it, politely say, once again, "Thank you, but the headhunter I'm working with suggested it really wasn't necessary, especially since I already gave you my letter of resignation." And that's where I would leave it. So now, let me give you a scenario that illustrates why giving an exit interview is a bad idea. Let's say you've been working at a company and you haven't been happy for a long time. Every day you go in and you can't wait to leave. So finally, you decide to give your notice, and Human Resources asks you to do an exit interview. You agree. You go into the interview thinking, "I'm going to be cool, I'm going to be calm, I'm going to be polite. I'll just say a couple of things about why I'm leaving the company." But then something happens. As you're talking about your experience at the company, it begins to stir up memories, and you start thinking about all the reasons you wanted to get out of there in the first place. And then, suddenly, you find yourself blurting out things you really wish you weren't saying. Harsh things, angry feelings, things you probably never intended to say out loud. So, what happens to all that? It gets written down, it gets put into your file by the HR manager. And maybe while you're talking, the HR manager is sitting there stunned thinking, "Was it really this bad?" Maybe they don't believe what you're saying. Or maybe they do believe it, and if they already know it, then why are they even doing an exit interview in the first place? Either way, there's no upside for you. And then what happens a year or two down the road when you're applying at another company and they call your old boss for a reference? What's the first thing that happens? The HR manager, a junior HR manager, or someone in personnel pulls your file. They see all that stuff in there, and they may start thinking, "Maybe I should tell this new HR manager about this former employee." Now they absolutely, positively know they should not be sharing private conversations from your file. But you don't know whether it could happen. Maybe they know that new HR manager, or maybe they feel a misguided sense of duty. So why take that chance? Why burn a bridge? Because that's exactly what you're doing. The minute you start telling them how awful the company was and why you're leaving, even if it's true, you're burning a bridge. And if somebody from HR ends up sharing information from your file with the person seeking the reference, your job prospects could be over. I've hired hundreds of people as the owner of multiple media companies. I've interviewed at least 10 times that many people. I can't tell you how many times applicants have told me they later discovered they got a bad reference from a previous employer. Participating in an exit interview is not worth the risk that what you say gets repeated. And if you're over 50, this matters even more. Older workers already face enough hurdles in the job market. So why risk giving a former employer anything that could make your next job search even harder? Don't do it. If anything, I suggest that you politely decline the exit interview. That saves you the potential grief you don't need. Here's something else I really want you to keep in mind. If that company truly cared about you, If they really wanted to know how you felt about the job, don't you think they would have asked you that while you were still working there? Wouldn't they have checked in with you while they believed you were a happy, content employee? Wouldn't they have asked, "Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Let's talk. Let's chat"? If they didn't bother asking you before you gave your notice, why do you think they suddenly want to know now? Again, there's no benefit to you. There's no upside. I wouldn't do it. You never know where that information will land or who will hear about it down the road. Now, here's something else that came up during the conversation with a recent career coaching client. They said, "Lou, I know they're going to ask me where I'm going. Should I tell them?" And my answer is absolutely, positively no. Don't tell them. There is no reason to tell the HR manager or anyone else at the company where you're going. What if for some reason they decide they need to let the new company know something about you? Why would you even risk that? It's not worth it. Maybe they say something intentionally to your new boss. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just happen to run into your new manager at a conference and mention something about you. Or you tell a coworker where you're going and that coworker is jealous, upset, or has some axe to grind and thinks only at getting back at you. Why invite trouble? You don't need it. If a coworker or manager wants to know where you're going, say this: "I've been working with a headhunter, and they suggested that once I get settled, I can always give you a call and let you know what I'm doing. But for right now, let me just get settled into the new job, and I'll be in touch." Whether you intend to follow up or not, that's up to you. You need to look out for your own best interests. The main lesson I want to leave you with today is this: exit interviews rarely benefit you. The best way to respond when you're asked to participate in one is this: "I turned in my letter of resignation. Please look at it. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to work here." That's it. There is nothing more to say. Let me know in the comments if you have ever been asked to do an exit interview, and did you do it? Now, if you're looking for quick, focused career advice, whether it's resolving a workplace issue, preparing to negotiate a raise, or if you want expert help launching a second career, then book a paid career coaching session with me. There's a link in the description. And if you want to learn about some great career options, then check out my video, 7 High-Demand Jobs for People Over 50 in 2026, Easy Second Careers. There's a link to that video in the description. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Over 50 TV, where I'll show you how to earn more after 50. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.